together, and I'm going to show you an example of a man coming to his realization about how powerful his sexual discipline
But
actually
those
is.
films,
Let's check it
bro,
out.
it was no freedom in that. It was no true confidence in that. You behind closed doors touching yourself. You gotta act like you ain't doing what you just did. If you're in a relationship, you gotta act like you ain't did what you just did. When you are in a relationship, you're trying to fornicate with this person as much as you can. When you're not in a relationship, you're trying to fornicate with as many people as you can. It's no freedom, and there's no stillness, and there's no peace, and there's no God in that, which leads you to complete emptiness and push you in this cycle of constantly pursuing the very thing that's draining you and pulling from you. When I was in Haven, I asked, what are some scriptures that speak about lust? 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 18 came up, and it spoke about fornication being the only sin where a man sins against his own body. Every other sin is outside of the body. So when you in Haven ask, what are some scriptures that can help me with lust? What are some scriptures that can help me flee from fornication? What are some scriptures that can help me fight temptation whenever temptation arises? And it'll give you a tailored response, so that way you can go into the word, deep dive into it, and apply it to your life. I had no idea how empty I was until God took those scales from my eyes, until he filled me with his spirit. That's when it started to click. That's when I started to see, oh snap, I'm out here pursuing women. I'm out here draining my energy. I'm out here, God is calling me to so much bigger. This is why I can't love how I'm supposed to love, because there's so much lust in my heart. Lust is a perversion of love. Love is sacrificial. Love is patient. Love is kind. Lust is, I want you for right now. Lust is, I want what I want, when I want it, and how I want it. Wondering why I can't be the man God called me to be. And not even knowing that I'm called by God. Literally, God had to take the scales off of my eyes so I could finally see. I couldn't walk as an honest man because there's some type of deception attached to me. I'm moving in some type of deception. Whether I'm talking to a girl I ain't supposed to be talking to, whether I'm trying to pretend like I ain't trying to sleep with a girl, and low-key I am. Whenever I'm touching myself and I got to be around people every single day and act like I don't do what I do on a daily basis, whether it be once or twice. It ain't no truth in that. It ain't no freedom in that. It ain't no pure confidence in that. It ain't no purpose in that. Wondering why you can't get nothing done. Wondering why you gotta walk around and act like your chest puffed up, like you got this confidence to you, but knowing you ain't handling business as no man because you can't keep your thing in discipline. Your thing ain't discipline, bruh. I'm like, bruh. And I had to completely subdue the fact that, dang, I am the issue. It is me. I've been in bondage. The devil only has been taking advantage of what I've been choosing. But I had to look in the mirror and I had to take accountability, and everything started to make sense. It wasn't just destroying me, it was destroying the people that I attached myself to. Whether it be leading my friends astray, whether it be the girlfriends that I had at the time, leading them astray. So if I'm around my partners, we all on the same stuff. What you think we doing? We talking about it, we influencing each other, and we're passing on hurt and destruction to other people. What you think I'm doing in a relationship? Wondering why I can't love this woman how I want to love her, and wondering why I can't love her how she wants to be loved, because there's so much lust in my heart. And the sad part about it is, I don't know what love is. I'm filled with lust. I'm trying to love her to my best abilities, and she's seeking after my validation. I'm lost. She don't know that I'm lost, and she want me to make her feel validated and make her feel full and whole when I don't even know God for myself. I'm like, bro, so it ain't just you affecting. My brothers that probably got kids, that's probably married, that's probably in relationships. It ain't just you. Think about the people that are attached to you. Are you proud to tell your wife? Are you proud to tell your girlfriend, whoever you attached to? Yeah, I watch them websites. I be touching myself to it. No, if you ain't proud to be doing it, if you ain't proud to say it, don't do it. Man, it's bondage that we in. And the devil has gotten a lot of us to the point to where we wear that sin as a badge of honor, man. It's sad. It's sad, man. But like I say, you got breath in your lungs. You ain't got to be in bondage. You ain't got to be in bondage. The devil don't want you to see yourself as that man God called you to be. Because once you see it, once you can perceive it, once you get that vision, then you know, let's get it done. There's something that you attached yourself to. You seen something, you wanted to do it, and you got it done. Because you started to see yourself as that. But the problem is a lot of men can't even see the men that God has called them to be. They can't even see themselves as that because they don't think they can do it. Not knowing that it's Christ that's going to get you through it. Not knowing that it's Christ that's going to wash you. It's Christ that's going to purify you. The devil wants you to think, oh, you didn't did too much. Says who? Says who? I still got breath in my lungs. It's another day of redemption. But I had no idea how much purpose I was lacking, how much God has called me to, how much bondage that I was in, and how much freedom God wanted me to be able to experience. I'm like, bro, I don't gotta walk in shame. I ain't gotta walk in deception. I can walk in truth. I can walk in love. I can be strong and gentle. I can walk in purity and not perversion. But the devil put that spiritual blindness on us because we choose that lust. So he's able to oppress us more. He's able to bring forth that spiritual blindness to what doing wrong feels so right and doing right so hard. Feel wrong to do or feel impossible to do. But when God comes in and encounter you and clothe you with his righteousness, with his precious Holy Spirit, you see, I can't.
Black men are far more sexually disciplined than they get credit for. And here's why. So let's discuss sexual discipline and parenthood. Here's a closer look at the data. There's a compelling argument to be made that men, particularly black men, demonstrate greater sexual discipline than is often portrayed in mainstream narratives. While sexual behavior is complex and influenced by cultural, economic, and emotional factors, both data and social observations suggest that men, in many cases, be more cautious when it comes to long term implications of reproduction. Let's begin with observation. Consider how many single women with children you personally know compared to those without children. Now, do the same with single men. The likelihood is that you know significantly more single mothers than single fathers. This isn't simply anecdotal, it reflects national trends in parenting and household formation. The role of men in childbearing decisions goes as such. Contrary to popular belief, men often internalize the financial and social responsibilities of fatherhood early on. For many, the decision to have children is strongly influenced by marriage, economic readiness, and long term planning. According to the National Center for Health Statistics, as of 2023, a higher percentage of men report having children within marriage than women, and unmarried women are significantly more likely to give birth outside of marriage. Pew Research Center reports that 29% of Black fathers are heads of single father household. While this may seem small in absolute numbers, is a significant representation when compared to the broader narrative that often paints Black men as absent fathers. These men are assuming primary parenting responsibilities, which requires not only presence, but discipline and commitment. Demographic realities of single fatherhood go as such. As of 2023, data from the Fatherhood Commission and Census Bureau indicate that approximately 71.5% of single father households are white, a noticeable increase from 56% in 2013. Think about that for a second. That is a huge leap. That is almost, the math says almost like a 15% leap, 15.5%. This suggests that single fatherhood is more demographically varied than media coverage implies and reflects larger population distribution patterns. When it comes to the Black community, Black single mothers outnumber Black single fathers by 3 to 1. Around 47% of Black mothers were raising children alone compared to 15% of Black single fathers. That's as of 2023. This stark contrast highlights that while both men and women are affected by non marital births, women are more likely to end up as the sole caretakers. That's something that you can observe. The real story is behind the numbers. The key takeaway is Black men are not as sexually reckless as often portrayed. The numbers suggest a different story, one where many Black men are cautious about fatherhood and approach reproduction with a level of seriousness that contradicts harmful stereotypes. This also raises a critical sociological point. The high number of single mothers compared to the single fathers may not be due solely to recklessness, but rather to differences in custody laws, relational dynamics, and proximity based conception patterns, where women may be more likely to engage with emotionally unavailable or unstable partners due to environmental or social limitations. In summary, when suggesting sexual discipline in parenthood, we must look beyond media portrayals and lean into the data, which paints more nuanced and often more respectful picture of Black fatherhood and male accountability. So, can't believe everything that you're being told. And I know that's almost hypocritical for me to even say that, but go do some digging and look for yourself. Don't let everybody convince you that Black men are reckless and sexually irresponsible. Lust, often characterized by an intense and unrestrained desire, can paradoxically lead to a loss of freedom. While it might seem liberating to pursue one's passions and desires without inhibition, lust can quickly become all consuming and overpowering rational thought and personal boundaries. This overwhelming drive can result in a cycle of dependency where individuals feel trapped by their own desires, unable to make choices freely or focus on other aspects of life. Moreover, relationships rooted in lust rather than genuine connection may lack the depth and mutual respect necessary for true freedom and fulfillment. In this sense, lust can act as a chain, binding individuals to transient pleasures rather than allowing them to experience the liberation that comes from meaningful connections and self control. This thought is in line with accountable masculinity rule number 5, sexual discipline. Just because you can doesn't mean you should entertain sexual attention from every person that you interact with. All right, folks. Appreciate you sticking with me to the end. This has been another episode of Beyond the Algorithm. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Go get the book. And most importantly, I will see you beyond the algorithm because that's where life actually happens. Later.